The anti-fan. There is not a single entity in the entirety of fandom more purposefully pernicious than the anti-fan. The people who move into a fandom, move into a setting, an anime, a manga, game, whatever, and then start looking around like, this is ours now. We totally like this and we'll do whatever we want with it. And you can't stop us because you don't have the balls to yeet us right the hell out. Something I'm hoping will change very, very soon. Cowboy Bebop star has a message for fans who think Netflix is ruining the anime. Our show is a love letter, says the woman who pretended to be a character that had at least the same hair color as Faye Valentine. And love letter. Well, I mean, in a certain respect, perhaps. You know, a love letter from a criminally insane stalker, for example, on the very most tippy point between love and absolute loathing, who decides to add in the severed head of a favored pet, just as a little bit of a dot across the I, you know, that kind of a love letter. And I hate this too. So, the character who played Faye Valentine, yeah, that's more or less accurate, did not do a very good job of playing Faye at all. There are moments when she almost gets it, but they are few and far between, but the blame can be spread across the entire cast there. Cowboy Bebop, the Netflix TV show, can best be described as a high school play, as if somebody in high school would try and do Cowboy Bebop as a play. That's the best of it. Like, the acting is awful. It is stiff as ever-loving hell, and you can feel them reading the lines. And radical heads. Oh, God, let there not be a second season, because I don't think I can stomach more of that. But first of all, no one is ruining anything, she said. The anime already exists. It's there. You can love it forever. Our show is a love letter to the anime, and it's a springboard to the anime. Bullshit. Allow me to completely violate this idiotic line of logic. Oh, we're not taking it away from you. We're not removing it. It's still there. You can still enjoy it. This is a Netflix TV show. You're not some 2-bit backyard operation. You're not a bunch of cosplayers doing this for shish and giggles who are allowed because it is fun. You are a major company doing a major production and a major actual adaptation of the material. You get to have the name Cowboy Bebop on your show. And 2 or 3 years, when Netflix does their thing, you probably won't even be able to find the original anime. Every time you search for Cowboy Bebop, this is what's going to be showing up. And a springboard to the anime? Do you think anyone who watches your garbage show is gonna go, that was lovely, I'd like to see more, but from decades ago? There's no right or wrong way to do it. Well, there absolutely is. This is another one of those falsities. It sounds nice on paper. You can enjoy the hobby any way you want it to a certain degree, you're right. If you want to paint your Cornet Marines blue, you know, go ahead, I guess. But if you'll start arguing that they're transsexual, alright. We're not talking about painting them anymore. We're talking about bringing in your bullshit. And again, Cowboy Bebop is filled to the gills with that. I mean, just the very fact that they decided to turn Jet into a black man who is an absent father. Jesus, you cannot tell the difference between the alt-right and the far-left anymore. It's just indistinguishable. The horseshoe has turned into an actual iron circle at this point, and of course, this is one of our weaknesses when it comes to gatekeeping, because the opposition does it so much better. This was just one article in a barrage of lockstep mainstream gaming and geek media that pumped out the same goddamn thing with the same goddamn idea. This article has been making the rounds on the internet because it's got one of those titles which is just... it's retarded. You know it's stupid. It's on the edge of being made just for clickbait, which is, of course, again, why we use archive links whenever possible. Netflix Cowboy Bebop isn't supposed to be good. I don't think there's a commentary I can make on that can make it sound any stupider. And she goes on to kinda try and explain a little bit, mentioning the many sins of the series from the attempts to adapt the anime as well. This is the problem. You wouldn't, again, think this would be something that would be necessary to point out, but what works in a fully animated medium with top-of-the-shelves voice actors and hand-drawn, where every frame being damn near a painting, is not something you can pull off in a live-action TV show. Again, see Radical Ed for more on that one. But like, the entire argument here is that it's not supposed to be funny because it's supposed to be viewed as a high-budget, retarded cosplay skit. No, it is not supposed to be viewed as a high-budget cosplay skit. Because this is Cowboy Bebop. This is what is completely forgotten again. If this was a spiritual successor, if it wasn't Netflix, if it was just a bunch of dudes who was like, okay, we're inspired by Cowboy Bebop, we're gonna do something similar to that. Alright, I'm not gonna care if you absolutely shit the bed, because you're shitting your own bed. Whereas in this case, you are shitting in my hands as someone who enjoys the series, and then you pull up your pants, turn around, and you ask me with a straight face why I'm not eating my chocolate. Well, frankly, Netflix, it's because 1, it smells, and 2, I don't like where it came from. It looks like shit, it smells like shit, and it sure as hell tastes like shit as well. And yet, man, what kind of a salary do these people have, I wonder? Like, you over there, could you write a defense of this god-awful TV show? I don't know, do I have to watch it? It'd be a bonus, but you don't have to. Cowboy Bebop proves Faye Valentine Backlash was all wrong. Yes, indeed. This garbage TV show has totally proven fans that no, you can absolutely make a live-action adoption of a beloved old anime. In fact, probably the anime that made anime in the first place. Because before this, outside of Japan, it was just Pokemon, Digimon, children's cartoon shows, by and large, dubbed into Americanese. And everything else was kinda a bit off there, whereas Cowboy Bebop just absolutely nailed that brand new market. It was a pretty modest success over in Japan, but it really hit it big internationally, and brought animation and anime and manga, etc., over to the West. Which is a good thing now, since we get to enjoy it, whilst the rest of our entertainment slowly but surely burns down around our ears. And this entire 1-2 screen rant, it is written from that classical weasel perspective, the leftist perspective of, it's just a tiny handful of alt-right trolls. Certain Cowboy Bebop fans, the Nazis and the sexists, were displeased with the remake casting of Faye Valentine, but the Netflix series proves the backlash wrong. Some fans, occasional naysayers, no, the overwhelming majority of people couldn't piss on this TV show if it was on fire. I meant to mention too, the side-by-side comparison. The hair colour is the only thing they have in common. Now, you can make the argument also about the costume, like, it's impractical. Yes, it's very much so intended to be impractical, in fact, because Faye doesn't bring out the guns very often, as that's not her primary weapon. And of course they turned her gay as well, which I think that was in, was that in this one or this one? Where they basically were like, the Faye Valentine's character, they might turn her queer now as well, because that's so much better. Character growth and advancement in the storyline, personality, screw all of that shit. She might like chicks now. Oh boy, how the days whiz by with such riveting character growth. Hell, and I can even pseudo-buy that. I imagine Faye would be willing to use her feminine wills against anyone and everyone willing to buy, but this becomes a plot point as much as the show has a plot, I guess. Then again, another plot point of the Netflix TV show is, of course, that Jet is an absent father, and that... What was that awful exchange? where a woman is like, Jen goes, what was it? This sounds like blackmail, and she looks up at him and goes like, yes, you are a blackmail. Oh, Jesus. This would be a hate crime normally, Netflix, but hey, you got away with cutie, so might as well go for the extra mile there, eh? Good God. And again, this is our primary weakness. In our case, we'll discuss the show, we'll have our own takes on it, and we'll talk about it to our audiences, but we only discuss things. We do not push the narrative. These guys, they do. Again, here's 3 articles, all defending this awful-ass show. None of them have really watched it, I bet you, and all are making this up from almost whole cloth, with the same kind of weasel words, explaining, oh, it's a minority of people, don't worry, it's fine. It's not that it's actual garbage, don't believe the evidence of your lying Augen. This is almost where we have to get to. But at the same time, the only reason why these sites even exist anymore is because of investors, is because of outside money, and because of, well, I mean, hell, their advertisement revenue isn't going up much these days either, because people are starting to get wise to their trickeries. But how do you even begin to fight against such a unified opposition? That's a good question. I might have to do a bigger gatekeeping video on that at some point, because there are some things we could and should do, and we have been doing for quite some while, and we are finally starting to see at least some results of it as well, but you cannot underestimate the advantages of being hive mind, I guess. See, this is the one thing that Robert Heinlein got wrong in Starship Troopers. He thought we had to go to space to find functional communism. Well, it might not be functional, but it is very communal. Till next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.